I have the Ridgid R4513 portable job site saw. Recently purchased this. Overall, I've been very pleased with it, except for one issue that I was having with the bevel lock mechanism. Looking online, I've seen there's been a number of other people that have had this issue. So what happens, so here's the bevel lock right here. No matter how tight you adjust this, even according to the instructions on tightening it found in the manual, and I can show you where that's done here in just a second, the mechanism in the lock position would slip. You could take the wheel and without much effort, here it's resisting because I've already fixed mine, even just turning this dial could make it move a few degrees, and then when you would turn the machine on, it would jump literally at least 1 or 2 degrees by the gauge there. Here, I'll turn mine on real quick. And you can see that it stayed put. So what looking at the problem, discovered was that behind the lever lock cam here, which is pretty similar to a quick release cam on bicycle wheels, behind this piece there was a washer, and then on the inside of this metal plate there was another washer, and those two washers would get pinched together by the cam. Initially I thought this painted surface on this metal was, and it is very, very slick, and then you had a painted black washer. There's just too much, the coefficient of friction was way too low, and then it was just slipping. My initial thought was to rough this up, sand it down to get some bite. I took the mechanism apart. I'll show you how I did that here in just a second. Sanded the washer, but as I did that, take the lever off, and this backing plate that it presses against, the lever is obviously plastic. This plate here, this focuses, is pretty much the same matte gray. I thought this was plastic too until I took it off and discovered it was metal. Now this metal plate is a nice big fat rectangle, much more surface area to grab and hold. And then I had a washer on the back side of that. I just got rid of the washer. Well, I reused it. I'll show you where. So I took it apart, took the lever apart, took out the washer. I still did the sanding. I don't know if that was necessary at this point or not. Put it back together, so now I have this plate engaging on the metal surface and not that washer. And it stays in place. I went to a parts supply that has an exploded diagram of this very model, and in the exploded diagram it does not show the washer being there. So somewhere that washer is being added. I don't know for what reason, but I think that washer is what was causing the slipping, because now I don't have an issue. So to get this lever apart, I'll undo it. You can see, I don't know if you can see in there, there's a screw right there, Phillips head screw. To get to that screw, the lever doesn't get out of the way far enough. So what you have to do, and this is sort of the adjusting instructions that you'll find in the manual, turn it all the way to 45 degrees. It's a little difficult to do one-handed. Okay, so now I'm in the 45 degree position. Come around here. And then up right there next to the exhaust hole for the sawdust is a nut. You just remove that nut completely. That's what you tighten to tighten that lever lock down. You're going to remove that. There's a thick bar that goes all the way from one side of the machine to the other, and that's what the lever lock attaches to. So once you've removed that nut, you're going to be able to push that metal rectangular piece to one side far enough that you'll be able to move the lever open wide enough to get to that Phillips screw. Undo that Phillips screw, the whole lever mechanism just pops off right in your hand. Nothing else comes apart, so you don't have to worry about anything coming out of adjustment or or causing more of a headache. Take that off, take out the washer, put the parts back on. I took that washer just to take up the same amount of space. You're not, and now I have, I don't know if you can see it here, I have 2 washers behind that nut just so the same amount of space was taken up on that rod and you're not bottoming out that nut when you tighten it down. Put it all back together, tighten the nut, and now no more loosey-goosey bevel lock. So I hope that helps everyone out.